Hello everybody, welcome back to another Planty video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, my name is Fern and this channel is all about sharing the love of houseplants. And that's specifically what we are going to be doing today because I'm going to be talking to you about all of the plants that I have been really into and really appreciating throughout the month of April. I think I might have missed doing a favorites video last month, which is very strange because I do them every single month at the end of the month. So I don't know. It seems that the last one I did was a February favorites. And the first plant that I'm going to be sharing with you today was actually also featured in that February favorites. And I try not to like repeat plants like in back-to-back plant favorite videos, but I just have to show this one again because, well, you'll understand. This is Miss El Choco, my Philodendron El Choco Red or Philodendron rubrijuvenile. And I cannot begin to tell you how impressed I am with this new leaf on this plant. Like I can't even believe it. It blows my mind that this massive leaf is just hanging out in my living room. Like that's crazy. That is just so crazy. This plant and I have been on quite the journey. If you've been on my channel for a while, I actually have a whole video about the journey that I've been on with this plant, with it getting root rot and me having to like propagate it, reroot it and everything. I think that this time last year, it was propagating still. Like it really has gotten to this size in a short amount of time. I still think that based on my experience like growing it now after the whole rotting and rooting situation, and my experience before, both times that I've grown this plant, it's sized up so quickly. So if you're looking for a velvet heartleaf philodendron that sizes up really easily and quickly, I think that the El Choco is a really great option. I've gotten this massive leaf with minimal effort. It is on a thickly grow pole and it is rooted into there. That was a question that I got on my Instagram. I posted a photo of this, so you've probably seen it if you follow me on Instagram, but someone was asking or messaging me and asking if it had rooted into the pole, and yes, it has. And I know that some people grow these without poles, but I really do think that the pole helps it a lot. I think that it enjoys to climb, and there's still so much room for mine to climb up this pole. Like it's not crawled up very far yet. So I'm just so excited to see what this plant is going to look like once it climbs some more. Like, it's just so crazy that it's already gotten so big. I didn't even really notice how big this leaf was until I grabbed the plant out of its spot and went to water it, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So yeah, very big new leaf. When I featured it in my February favorites, I think it was when it had just put out this leaf, which was very impressive, and it still is very impressive, but it's definitely like quite the size up for this new leaf now. So yeah, it's just crazy. And this one unfortunately does have some yellowing around the edge, which is either from underwatering or over fertilizing. I'm not sure. It could be either one. I've done both of those things recently, so I don't know, but I'm just so glad that the new leaf is happy and healthy and everything. It's actually still soft, so I'm trying to be really gentle with it and make sure it doesn't get like hit by any other plant leaves. It does live in this very crowded plant corner over here, so I've got to be a little bit mindful about that. But yeah, it's starting to harden off, so it will be hardened off soon. I can't wait to see what its like final form will be. I think it's pretty much expanded to how big it's going to be, but it could get just like a smidge bigger. We'll see. But yeah, I love this plant so much, and I just was quite shocked by that leaf, so I couldn't not put it in this video. Okay, the next plant I'm also featuring because I'm so impressed with the newest leaf that it's put out, and I can't stop checking on it and looking at it, and that is my Monstera aurea. So this is the new leaf in question. Look at that. I honestly, like, I cannot believe how much I lucked out with this plant. I feel like when it comes to variegated Monstera, I've never really like won the genetic lottery, but with this one, like, wow, I feel like I got so lucky. This is just like crazy. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it has so much yellow. It even has like minty sections on here. Like, oh, it's just so pretty. I honestly can't believe it. This was the last leaf that it gave me. It did fall off one of my plant shelves that it used to be on, and it got damaged, so it does look kind of sad because of that, which is unfortunate, but still, as you can see, a lot of variegation, very, very stunning. And then this was the original leaf that I purchased. So I purchased this as just a single leaf rooted mid-cut, I believe. And I felt like I was taking a bit of a chance, and I was, because you never really know, especially with half moon leaves. They can be a little tricky. They can kind of go either way. They might revert, they might give you like fully variegated leaves, they might alternate. You don't really know what's gonna happen. So, I mean, with a lot of cuttings, it's hard to predict what the variegation is gonna look like, but especially with half moons. But I ended up going for it because I saw it on Northshore Tropical's website when they were having a Black Friday sale, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. So it was an impulse purchase, but I don't regret it at all. I'm so glad that I got this plant, and like I said, I just feel like the genetics are phenomenal on it. So if you're looking to get a Monstera aurea, check out Northshore Tropical's because, yeah, she's got some good ones over there. As you can see, there is a new leaf that has just emerged as well. So I'm so excited to see what that one's gonna look like. The Monstera aurea does have what's called Polaroid variegation, so the variegation develops over time. The leaf comes in pretty much green. So as you can see, it literally just looks like a plain green leaf. And then as time passes, the variegation becomes more prominent until it ends up looking like fully developed. You can see like a little bit, like I can see faint variegation on it. So you can get like an idea of what the leaf is gonna look like, but it's just really fun to watch it develop. And yeah, this is my first leaf that it put out in my care, and it was like my first time experiencing that, and it was just so exciting and fun. So that's something that I really like about Monstera. Wow, I just made a new name. Monstera aurea. It's been a great plant. It's been like relatively easy for me to grow as well. I think that this newest leaf is coming in just a little bit smaller than expected because I did repot this recently, and this is the first leaf it's giving me since the repot. So yeah, but it's doing really well. Other than that, it does have an aerial root that's really juicy, and it's like reaching down. It's just about touching this, so it's gonna grow right into there. And it has a bamboo stake, as you can see. It's a really great plant, and I'm so excited to watch it mature and everything. Oh, it's gonna be so exciting when it like gets its first fenestration in my care, and yeah, I'm really happy that I have it. Okay, next I have a flowering plant to share with you, and it is my Streptocarpus. And this plant originally caught my eye because of the foliage. It has this really cool textured, fuzzy foliage. And apparently these are like really common plants, so I don't know why I'd never really heard of it or like noticed them before, but I'm definitely noticing them now because I saw this when I was in the plant store a couple months ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, this leaf is so cool. And there was another one that was like on display, and it was flowering, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it has this cool foliage plus it flowers, like that's crazy. But I took this one home, and it was not in bloom yet. It was just the foliage. And I have been so excited waiting for the flowers to come in. And as you can see, we have a flower. And how beautiful is that? Look at that. It's purple and yellow. Like, how cute. Oh my goodness. I'm so in love with this. And then we have another one. This one actually has two. Look at this. This one has two flowers coming in on that one. Oh my goodness, and they're almost opening. Probably tomorrow they'll be like a little bit open. It's been so fun to watch them come in, and there's even another one. They start as these like really tiny little curled things. So there's another one that hasn't come up yet. Oh, it looks like it might be a double one again. Oh my gosh, it's a double one again. It's down there. If you can see that little curled bit, that's gonna be another bloom. So this is gonna have multiple blooms on it. And when I got this at the plant store, they also told me that they can bloom into like November. So they have a really long lasting like flowering period, which is so cool. So I'm so excited and happy about this plant. Like I said, I love the foliage, love the flowers. There's a ton of different varieties that you can get, like as far as the flower colors and everything go. And like there's different species with different types of foliage and stuff. So yeah, really cool plant, and I'm so glad that I've discovered this because I've never had a Streptocarpus before. And now I feel like there's just like Now I feel like it's just, there's a whole new world for me. Yeah, so I'm really glad that I discovered this plant and decided to get it and try it out, especially because I didn't know anything about it. I feel like well, no, I do that sometimes. I was gonna say I don't do that very often, but I do that sometimes. Anyways, it was fun to come home and like binge watch a bunch of care videos on it and just learn about it more. And you can find these, oh my gosh, I think the new bloom has 3. Oh no, it just has 2. You can find these at your local plant shop, you know, garden centers, probably even big box stores would have these. Actually, yes, I've seen them there. It's like a pretty common, especially in the spring, I think that they put them out. This one I paid $14.50 because I got it from like a local plant shop, but I'm sure that you could find them for honestly probably like a few dollars in a big box store. If you're interested in trying one out yourself, yeah, I would highly recommend, honestly, and I found it to be super easy care so far. When it gets thirsty, the leaves get soft and droopy too, so it will give you a visual cue to water it. I try to keep on top of watering before mine gets to that point, but it has not had any problem bouncing back after it has gotten to that point, if you know what I mean. So I feel like it's pretty resilient, a pretty tough plant, and just very rewarding. It's brought a lot of happiness to me, and now it just looks, it lives beside my orchid too, so they just look so pretty sitting there with their little cutie blooms. Yeah, I love it so much. If anyone does get one, tag me on Instagram or like send me a photo. Well, tag me, because I'll probably see that more likely than seeing a DM. Yeah, if you post a photo, let me know, tag me in it, because I know that there's so many different varieties and I would just love to see the one that you picked up. Okay, next we have my Philodendron mamei, which is kind of a recent love and obsession for me. I would say I'm a little bit obsessed with it right now. This is a plant that I had just never really been into, and then when I got it for the first, you know, half a year or so, I really struggled with constant spider mites on it. Now that I'm more on top of that, and now that it's matured a little bit, I'm finding the care a lot more manageable and I'm not really having those issues as much. Yeah, it's fine. I feel like it's finally just like stabilized a little bit and is doing well. And this is the newest leaf, which I'm in love with. Oh my goodness, like look at that. It's actually still hardening off a little bit as well. It's still quite fresh, but it's so beautiful. It just came out perfectly. The last few leaves have actually come out pretty perfect. That was the last one. Look at that, so beautiful with the silver markings, and then this has obviously sized up as well. This is a crawler, which is kind of fun because I don't have very many crawlers in my collection. I actually think I only have 2 now because I got rid of my Philodendron McDowell. I just have my gloriosum and this one, I think, yeah. But it's a nice break from climbing Philodendron, you know, like it's less maintenance and everything, so I've really been appreciating this one. This actually has a little spot of sport variegation, which is very cute as well. It's just like a little freckle, if you can see right there. Obviously, that's not going to be something that's going to like continue, but it's just like a fun little birthmark on that leaf. I actually recently moved this out of my Millsbow cabinet because it was just outgrowing it. This leaf was trying to unfurl and it was like all contorted and like squished against the glass and stuff. So I was like, okay, I've got to get you out of there. So now it's actually living beside my Philodendron gloriosum, but I've got to find a different place to put it because it's just a little crowded there right now. So yeah, we'll see. And this is actually going to need to be repotted soon as well. If you can see, it's like almost growing to the edge of the pot. Oh, and I also did want to say, I was talking in one of my last videos about how I was confused about the ruffling on the petiole because someone had commented that only the, oh, I forget what it is, like the Ploumanii or something gets that. But a lot of you commented and you were like, no, 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 the mamei gets it too because your mameis at home also have it. So it has that really cool ruffling, which is going to get more pronounced as it matures, I would assume. It's usually how that works. But yeah, it's so pretty, like with the texture, like the pleats on the leaves and the silver markings, like that combined, it just makes for such a beautiful leaf. Oh, I love it so much. It's just gorgeous. Okay, next is a little bit of a smaller one, and it is my Ficus shivereana moonshine. So maybe I have it in this terracotta pot as just like a little cover pot situation because I haven't actually repotted this plant yet. I was going to pot it into this terracotta and then I decided to just leave it in here in the pot that it came in a little bit longer because I didn't want to disturb it. Ficus make me very nervous. They do not like being disturbed or like moved or anything, so I'm just gonna put that off a little bit longer. But when I repot it, I do want to put it into terracotta because I love the combination of like the clay color with the really highly variegated light colored leaves. I actually just recently potted my Epipremnum pinnatum marble into terracotta, and it's like the same kind of coloring as this plant, and it just looks so good. Like highly variegated plants are just like light colored. Like even my neon philodendron behind me, like that would look so good in terracotta. Anyways, side note, I just really love like light plants with terracotta. I think it looks beautiful. Dark plants too. I mean, I guess terracotta just goes with all plants. Anyways, my Ficus shivereana here, which this is a form of Ficus elastica. It's just like a really highly variegated version. As you can see, most of the leaf is cream, and then it has some green speckling on it. It has like some different shades of green. It's very, very beautiful, and the new leaves come in with a pink tinge to them as well. I don't have a super fresh leaf on this one right now. You can see it's preparing to put out a new leaf soon. You can see that like pink sheath in there. So that new leaf will come in and it will have like a really pink hue to it, which is so pretty, and then it fades down to the kind of cream color. Just a really unique ficus. I'm so glad that I got this, and it's actually grown so much. Like it was very, very tiny when I got it. This is from Plant Haven Toronto as well. I think I got it in the fall. And yeah, it's actually done really well for me. As far as all the ficus, I have 3 different types of ficus, and this is definitely the easiest one, the one that's done the best for me. So yeah, I'm just trying not to ruin that because I want to see this continue to grow and get big. It's so rewarding growing plants out from being something so small to something a little bit more mature. So yeah, it's just been really fun watching this. It puts out leaves at a really steady rate as well. I have this fairly close to a grow light. Ficus elastica, even just like the regular varieties, like the burgundy and the teneki, they love a lot of light. Like I'm talking in a south-facing window kind of vibes. So yeah, I have this one very close to a Sansi grow bulb, which I find to be like a very harsh grow light. Like I can't put a lot of plants super close to it or they'll bleach or burn. But this one, it's like very close to it, and it seems really happy with that. So yeah, it's been doing really well, and it's another one that it's in a spot in my bedroom that I walk by and I see all the time, so I'm just constantly admiring it. And yeah, I love it so much, so I had to share and give a little update on how it's doing. I did do a whole unboxing on this plant when I got it in the fall, so yeah, little updates. It's doing really well, and I can't wait to see it get even bigger, and eventually we will repot it into a terracotta pot. But for now, we get the same kind of vibe with it just being a cover pot. Okay, I have another big ol' philodendron, and this is one of my absolute all-time favorite plants, especially right now. This is my Philodendron majestic, which is a hybrid of Philodendron verrucosum and Philodendron soderoy. And I find this one interesting because most of my philodendron hybrids, I've grown like each of the parent of the hybrids on its own, like the species. But for this one, I've never had soderoy before. I've never even seen one in person. It was on my wish list for a long time, and I don't know, I just didn't end up getting one. They didn't pop up for, like, I didn't see them pop up at all. And then when they did start popping up, I was kind of like, oh, like, I don't know if I have the space to grow like another big philodendron. So I didn't end up getting one. Maybe I'll get one in the future. I don't know. I'm not like actively looking for one right now, but that is one of the parents of this. So I have kind of a form of it, you know? And the silver does just give like the most beautiful markings to Philodendron majestic leaves, which is my favorite thing. Well, I don't know. I just love the look of these leaves in general. They're so big and pillowy. I love the shape of them. But yeah, the silver markings is really what takes this to the next level. I wish I had some sunlight right now to show you just like how beautifully this sparkles. Because yeah, the silver is just stunning. They have like a camo look to them, like a camouflage look to them, don't you think? Like it's just such a cool pattern. I love it so much. You can see I do have some newer leaves on this. So this one is obviously new up here. And then this one is new as well, hiding in there. So the new leaves come in just a little bit lighter, and then they darken over time. They're still expanding and everything. And then I actually recently added in a third vine. So I just had the 2 vines in here. And then I recently rooted and added in a third one. So this is a leaf from the newest one, the third one, and then this is a new leaf on that one. It's kind of facing, it's facing backwards, but that's because it hasn't been there for very long. Eventually it will turn towards the light, I hope. But yeah, that one is still kind of getting adjusted to living in this pot and everything. But again, this plant is rooted into the pole. It's got a thickly pole in here. Yeah, you can see actually a lot of roots. I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera, but there's a lot of roots in there. They're kind of like pinky too. They're so cute. This is a thickly pole that I added an extension to, and it's so sturdy and stable, and it was so easy to do. Like, it slotted in there perfectly and everything. So if you watch my newest video, or not my newest video, I just posted it right now, but by the time you see this video, I don't think that will be my newest video anymore. But if you watch my Q&A video, you would see that I struggled with extending one of my thickly poles, and I don't know why I was having that problem. It's so strange, because this one is another extension that I did, and it's just like perfect. So yeah, just to show you what like a proper thickly extension is supposed to look like. Anyways, yeah, Philodendron majestic, I'm absolutely obsessed. This plant lives in my bedroom as well, so I see it all the time. It's right in front of a mother Plant Spectrum 32 grow light, and it grows beautifully with that light. And I love that the Plant Spectrum light is like vertical facing it, so all the leaves are facing out like this. Really nice. That's how you get your plant to look like this, is to have it facing a light source like head on, and all the leaves will point out and look really nice. So yeah, I'm actually gonna have to extend it again soon. If you look, like, it's literally almost at the top. So yeah, just had to share it because I'm literally obsessed, and it's growing like crazy with new leaves and everything. And yeah, it's just so gorgeous. I love it so much. All right, so the last plant is this one right here. And this is my Asparagus fern, which, can you see it? It's kind of hard to, this one's just hard to show because it's so just like thin, I guess. It's so wispy. That's a good word for it. This is my Asparagus fern, and this is a plant that I had always been wanting to try, and then I ended up getting it a couple of months ago, and I am so happy that I picked this up. I just found this at a big box store, and found this cute little pot for it as well at a plant shop, and like, is this not the cutest combo? I love this so much. This like pink pot with the little feet with this like whimsical plant in here. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed. I have this beside my bed on my little like nightstand table, and it has its own personal little grow light that sits above it. So it also doubles as a like reading lamp for me at night, like a little nightstand lamp. And yeah, I've just enjoyed watching this grow so much. It's actually grown a ton. These are all like new little branches up here, little fronds, and they come in so cute. They almost just look like little vines when they come in, and then they slowly expand and get bigger and bigger. So you can see this one is a fresh little vine. Can you see? It's so hard to show. That little one right there is a fresh little vine, and then eventually that's going to expand until it turns into like a bigger leaf like this. So it's just a really cute process to watch the new leaves come in. And this is just so different than everything else I have in my collection. It's so just like fluffy and like, yeah, wispy and whimsical are like the best words I can use to describe this plant. So cool, so unique. It's been extremely easy as well. Like, it's super happy with the little grow light it has, and I just water it when it gets dry, basically. I did receive a comment from someone recently saying that they could never grow this because they have really bad luck with ferns and they find them really difficult. But I have good news, because this is not actually a fern. This is from the asparagus family. So it's called asparagus fern as its common name, but it's not actually like a regular fern. So it's much easier than that. It's much more forgiving. And yeah, if you're scared of ferns, don't let that put you off of trying out this plant, because it's different, it's easier, just trust me. Yeah, but such a cool plant. I just feel like this is a plant that you can do a lot of really cool styling within your home, and it really stands out. I love it so much, and I don't know why I put off getting one for so many years. I'm just really glad that I have it now because yeah, it makes me so happy. Again, I love it so much. And this was only like $5 or something, I think. Doesn't have the tag on it, but yeah, so cheap to find these. All right, we did it. We made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you very, very much. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all my plants. Let me know what you thought. I would love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.